Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending what time you're tuning in for this video. Okay, today we're going to be looking at mind maps, but before we start, I just want to go through your instructions. Okay, you will need to take notes, so grab a piece of paper and a pen. I would also recommend putting today's date and make sure you put the title of the lesson we're going to be covering. You may need to draw diagrams, so you may want to grab a pencil, pen, a rubber and some colouring pencils. You will be asked to pause the video, and sometimes I will include a countdown if we're doing an exam question in the video that you can use to help you. You must keep your notes safe because you'll use them as a revision aid for the exam. And then once you've finished the task, I need you to take a picture of your notes with your phone or your camera and upload it to either Teams via the assignment, or you can email them to my school email address. Okay, so without further ado, let's begin. Today we're looking at mind maps. Okay, so we're looking at creating a mind map for the exam, and what you need to think about as we're going through this is, how do I create a mind map that's got strong content, layout, and is fit for purpose? So it's quite similar to the mood board lesson that we did last week. Okay, so could you now put the title, Created a Mind Map for the Exam, and today's date? Okay, you may want to pause the video while you do that. And moving on. So, what I would like you to do now is to pause the video and have a go at answering our 4 questions. So, what is the purpose of a mind map? How would a company be able to use images that do not belong to them in their product? What is a milestone? What is contingency? And can you recall 3 things that should be on a storyboard? Okay, so just pause the video and have a go at answering those 4 questions. Okay, so what is the purpose of a mind map? Similar to a mood board, it's to help you generate ideas, but whereas a mood board uses imagery and media to generate the ideas, a mind map uses purely text. Okay, remember, a mind map is made up of nodes, so you should have a center node, nodes and subnodes, and they're all connected together like a tree using branches. Okay, now the next question: how would a company be able to use the images that do not belong to them in their product? Okay, well, wherever possible, you should try to use royalty-free images that are licensed using the Creative Commons licenses, more specifically the CC0 license. Okay, then you can use them without having to do anything else. If you want to use an image that is copyrighted, you will need to get in touch with the owner and request their permission to use it. Now, they may insist that you pay a license fee to be able to use it. Okay, now the R081 exam questions. What is a milestone? Well, when you create your time plan, okay, you can set milestones at certain stages to make sure the project is on track. So it's a set point within your time plan where you should have completed certain tasks by that time. Okay, and then contingency is where you set aside additional time in your time plan in case you overrun. Okay, and it says, can you recall 3 things that should be on a storyboard? Okay, where you could have a sketch of what each scene would look like. You could have the scene numbers included. You could have information about the effects. You could have information about the sound. Okay, if you've struggled with that question, I would suggest you go back over your notes for the storyboard. Okay, so moving on. So before we start, let's have a look at a previous exam question that asked you to create a mind map. So we've got here, the Kids 5-a-Day campaign will include a multimedia website aimed at improving the eating habits of children. It will provide recipes and advice in a fun and entertaining way. You have been asked to create a pre-production mind map for the possible homepage of the website. This will be given to the web designer. Marks will be awarded for structure, content, and relevance. Okay, well, structure, we kind of just went over it a second ago, making sure you've got a center node, you've got nodes and subnodes, okay, and that they're all connected using branches. The content would need to be connected to the brief, okay, what you're being asked to do, and the relevance would make sure the information is correct. So, publicity for the ride will require the capturing of images of the ride and park to use in various leaflets and posters. Create a mind map that can be used by the production team to help them plan the capturing and editing of those images. Okay, so capturing is actually being able to take them with the camera, and then editing is being able to edit with the software. Now, you can see here it's worth 7 marks. Okay, so you should be aiming to, remembering the rule that I've told you in the past, every mark in the exam paper you should be aiming to spend a minute. Okay, so this task should take you at least 7 minutes to complete. Okay, so as we go through today's lesson, we're going to learn how to answer this question in a confident way, okay? Making sure that we have strong content, good layout, and it's fit for purpose. So our outcomes for today, our surface learning outcome is I am able to identify the elements required on a mind map. And our deep learning outcome is I can create an exam level mind map that is strong in content and fit for purpose. Now, to ensure that you're making good progress in this lesson, you should be able to, at the next progress check, be able to answer one of the past exam questions. Okay, so we've just had a look at one. So hopefully we should be able to answer that confidently by the end of the lesson. Okay, so a recap of what we've already done. We need to identify the content of the mind map. We need to annotate where are the nodes, the branches, and the subnodes. Okay, how would you define the first set of nodes? And why didn't the candidate forget about the subnodes and just do every bit coming from the central idea? Okay, so think about that. And here is the question. So always in an exam answer, put a node and a subnode connected as always by branches. Okay, so we've got our mind map. Okay, we've got our center node, we've got our nodes, and then we've got our subnodes, and then we've also got in this one some subnodes. Okay, and notice how they are connected together with branches. Now this is the structure, this is what your mind map should look like. Okay, now you will get marks for just getting the structure of the mind map right, so it is important that you set it out in this way. Okay, so the exam is on pre-production, so let's watch a short video clip to get an idea of what that entails on a short film. So this is, if they were going to create a short film, this is what they'd have to consider at the pre-production stage.
The beginning, Adam bites the apple. In 1903, the first narrative film was made. In 93, Spielberg says F you to evolution. And in 2009, Film Right is released to the world.
Want to be a filmmaker? Well, so do I. Let's figure it out. We're going to be following Trying Films from pre to post-production as we make our latest short film, Tell. Along the way, we're going to be showing you how to accomplish great effects with little to no budget. And every now and again, we'll be jumping over to Full Sail University to get you advice from the pros.
So grab some popcorn and get comfortable. This is Film Riot. Welcome to Film Riot, the show that takes the mystery out of the effects and techniques that go to some of your favorite Hollywood films. I'm your host, Ryan Conley.
Now, I've been talking about TEL since the very beginning, and a lot of you have been asking lately what the holdup is. Well, due to the time it takes to make Film Riot, run a production company, and have a family, there's very little time left over in the end for any of my side projects. But everything's moving along nicely now, and I'm hoping to have the short film done before the end of the year. But we'll see. Anyway, today we're going to be talking about my pre-production process on TEL. And just for redundancy's sake... Hey Ryan, I know you're going to be making your short film soon. Could you show your pre-production process? This is the one I know the least about. Eric. Already said I would. The pre-production process for me and most of you is much different than the Hollywood feature film. There's a lot of things that are the same, but Hollywood does a lot that is unneeded for us. Since we don't have a ton of cast and crew, we typically don't pay our cast and crew. Most of the time, we're going to be bypassing things like permits and insurance and getting most of our things for the film through favors, including our location. So let's get right to my version of pre-production and bust out my pre-production checklist. First, we'll write the script, then decide on a budget, get our location, do a script breakdown, get the casting call going, shot list, storyboard, line the script, time the script, create a shooting schedule, lock in your crew, get the gear, and if need be, handle all rentals, insurance, and permits. First, I'm only using my own gear. Then for the crew, I'm only using my friends and family, so I had to teach a lot of them how to do the jobs that they would be doing on set. And finally, I'm going all out of pocket for the budget and restricted myself to about $1,000, which is going to go to props, wardrobe, and food.
Baggies in jumbo, food wrap, and sandwich sizes. The only leading wrap with 3 sizes to keep food tasting as fresh as it sounds.
So let's start to work our way down the checklist, because I've already done a few of these. Ta-da! First is a script. Now, this one's been done for a while now, but I continue to make changes to my script up until the day of shooting. Next is budget, which we've already covered, and location. Now, as I suggested before, I wrote my script with my location in mind, which is one that I knew I could use without issue. It's a family member's house and one you've seen several times on the show. Next, we have casting, which I already locked that one down as well, but a lot of you have been asking me what steps I took for casting and how you could put one together. So, let's take a second for that little ditty.
Hey, Steve, where's your gal? You know, you've got to have a partner. Ah, that's better. You go get her.
Casting calls are not that hard to put together. The hardest part is finding where to hold the casting call, which you definitely don't want to do at your house because that could get a little creepy. There's going to be a lot of sketchy characters that show up and you don't want them to know where you live.
You'll notice that all 4 couples are active all of the time.
A good alternative is to call a local acting school. They might help you out by giving you a room if you in turn let their students have an audition. Now, how do you get the word out about your casting call? I did mine in 2 ways. First was online, and the second was by calling around to all the local acting schools and drama clubs. Most of them will be excited about a new opportunity. Most local actors are always looking for a new production to be a part of, hoping the end result will be a good one that they can add to their demo reel. Online, I use Craigslist and IMDb Pro to post about my project and give examples of some of the other stuff that I've done to show that I can turn out good projects. Then an email that they can send their headshot and resume to if they're interested. The reason I did this was to cut down on the amount of people that would be coming into audition that didn't fit the look I was going for. And believe me, if you don't do this, you're going to get a lot of people coming in that do not fit the look of your film.
You see, these 2 couples are doing Birdie in the Cage just the same as it was done before.
Once I made my post, I scanned the internets and went on sites like exploretalent.com so I could look through all the actors that post their bios there. Then once I found one I liked, I sent a message. Then just wash, rinse, repeat. Then set up a day for your casting call. And once you're there, make sure you have a camera to record all the auditions so you can look over them later, and some sides for your actors to read from, which are short scenes for your script for your actor to perform. And you're set. Sponsor! Squarespace is a publishing system for anyone looking to build a blog, portfolio, or any kind of website. Squarespace offers a uniquely flexible tool for just about anyone to build a high-end, complex website with the same functionality that you'll find on some of the highest traffic pages on the web. And Squarespace's newly launched Site Importer tool makes things really easy to move over. So go get yourself a Squarespace, and when you do, use the promo code FilmRiot when placing your order at squarespace.com. And we're back. We're back. To do a budget, first you need a script breakdown. This is where you go through your script and compile a list of all the things that you need to make your film. You'll be surprised at how many little things like props or specific wardrobe that you'll find you'll need once you finish this list. Now once you have your script breakdown done, it's time to make your budget. Now for most of us, that's going to be trying to figure out how to get all the things you need into your already specified amount of money. But for those of you that have a little extra cash, this will show you how much your film is going to cost. A little friggin' tip. To keep costs down, have your actors wear their own clothes. unless it's something specific that's needed, or the clothes will get ruined in the end by blood or something else. You can go to the Goodwill store, and you'll find a lot of great stuff there for a really low cost. That was a little friggin' tip. The last thing we're going to talk about today is crew. And like I said before, the only people I'm using is friends and family. In fact, the only other person on set that has any experience at all is my assistant director / producer, who is actually the kid I also went to film school with and is finishing up his first feature film, which he shot locally, but I'll get to that in another episode. Now, I've had a lot of questions on how to get your friends to cooperate in making your film. Now, the one thing you gotta remember is no one has the vision for your film but you, and no one is as excited about the film off the bat except for you. You have to get them there. And the best way to do that is to show them something to get them excited. If you don't have any past works, just put together a quick 1 to 2 minute scene to show everyone what you're looking to do. This will get them all excited and on the same page with you with what the end result will be.
Mikey Third Leg sends you a message.
What? We're delivering a message from Mikey Third Leg.
What's the message? This is the message.
Oh God. You're gonna kill me?
Signed, Mikey.
Oh no. You're gonna cut me up like in that movie Scarface?
No. What's the matter with you? That's disgusting. Tonight, you sleep with the fishes.
Oh, what? Oh, this isn't a very effective way to kill somebody and no fish.
Oh, I'm sorry. There ain't no lakes around. I could throw a little goldfish in there if that'll make you happy, Mr. Literal. What are you doing?
Taking a picture so later I can burn it to make sure his soul can find heaven.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, it's just something I started doing.
That's very sweet. You're always thinking about other people.
You know, it's just stop embarrassing me in front of the guy. You know?
Listen, I don't even know who this Mikey Third Eye is.
Whoa, leg.
Whatever. My point is, I think you got the wrong guy.
This guy ain't no Mikey.
No, I don't.
Yeah, and I bet you never rented a movie from the Italian Stallion and then didn't return it.
No.
That was very inappropriate, my friend.
Not gentlemanly at all.
I use Netflix. I've never gone to a rental store before.
Yeah, and I bet you ain't never seen Angels in the Outfield starring the great Tony Danza either.
I haven't. And Tony Danza's a terrible actor.
Oh.
You son of a I'll break your legs! You're gonna drown by that one, Guido! You don't know nothing about Tony Danza, nothing! He loves Angela! He left the hood for his daughter! He's an inspiration! What do you know? How dare you!
Joey, wait outside.
He's saying some things!
I know. You're too emotional.
He is saying some things!
Wait in the car. I will handle it. I got you some gummy bears.
Gummies are yummy.
The sweet ones.
Well, you better handle this.
I will handle it.
Talking about my dad.
So what is this Netflix?
It's all online. And there's over 90,000 titles, including a lot of Blu-ray. And then there's 40,000 shipping centers, so you get it overnight. So I've never been to the rental store.
Isn't your name Steve?
No, it's Josh.
This is embarrassing. I'm sorry. I apologize. This is unprofessional.
So you're not gonna kill me?
No, of course not.
Oh, thank God.
I am gonna have to shoot you in the leg, though, for what you said about the Danza. It's a matter of principle.
Can I get a ride home after?
That's it for this week. Next week, we're going to be knocking out the rest of the list. But in the meantime, you can follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/Ryan_Conley. You can also follow us on Facebook. And of course, there's YouTube where we do other fun stuff. And I'll see you next Thursday when I pop Josh's head off to see what kind of candies are inside.
Follow Josh Conley on Twitter.
No!
Josh_Conley.
Josh, you're quiet!
Do it.
The beginning, Adam bites the apple.
Okay. So, obviously we can't do this in pairs, but what I would like you to do now is I would like you to write down what is the use of this mind map. Okay? So, struggling with the word use, think of it like this. What's the point of a mind map during pre-production? Okay, so write this down. The use of any mind map is to show the development and options for ideas in any project, to show the connections and links between the different parts of the project. So write that down on the green box. Okay, and just remember, never create a mind map without nodes and subnodes. Okay. Okay, so if you want to pause the video while you write this down. Okay, moving on. So, we're going to have a go at doing a question now. Okay, I want you to create a mind map, so make sure you've got enough space. Okay, remember what we've talked about so far. So create a mind map from the script in figure 2, so this script on the left hand side, showing the various aspects that you will need to consider, that will need to be considered when planning the filming of one of the short films. Okay, marks will be awarded for layout and fitness for purpose. So thinking about what you've just heard in the video, what do you need to take into account? So we're going to start a 10-minute timer. Okay, make sure you set it up properly with your structure. Make sure that it's relevant and it's all connected. Okay, 10 minutes starting now. Okay, so you've got 1 minute left. Okay, if you could just stop then. Okay, so moving on. Okay, so we are going to mark what you've just created, so just keep it at hand. Okay, just to quickly go over what our outcomes are. I'm able to identify the elements required on a mind map, and I can create an exam level mind map that is strong in content and fit for purpose. Okay, so here's what your mind map should have looked something along the lines of. Okay, so marks are awarded for a diagram considering the following points. Recognizable diagram structure, so have they used nodes and branches? Content relevant to film in the script, so health and safety, equipment, travel, location. Content relevant to the context of Alaskan landscape, so setting, animals, weather. Suitable detail annotation, logical sequence of nodes and subnodes. Okay, the diagram should be viewed as a whole and then graded appropriately. So for level 1, the diagram has basic structure, may not be clear, links may not be totally logical, content may not be wholly appropriate. For level 2, in level 1's 1 to 3 marks. For level 2, 4 to 5 marks. Structure of the diagram is clear, but may not be totally logical. Content may not be fully relevant to the context of the filming. And for a level 3, clear structure with logical connections, including subnodes. Content is relevant to context of film and script, and detail is clear and understandable. So, what level would you give it? Have a look. Okay, this example here would get a level 3 because it's clear, logical, it's got connections, it includes subnodes, the content is relevant, the detail is clear and understandable. Okay, let's have a look at another one. What do you think? What would you give this one? Okay, so again, it would get level 3 because it's clear, logical connections, it includes subnodes, the content is relevant, the detail is clear and it's understandable. Okay. What do you think for this one? I don't like how they've spelt the word colour. Okay, what do you think? Let's have a look. Okay, so this one would get level 2 because the structure of the diagram is clear, but it's not totally logical. Content not fully relevant to the filming. Okay, what do you think? Have a look. Okay, so this would get a level 1 because the diagram has a basic structure, but the links are not totally logical. So we've had a look there, we've modelled 3 examples. We've seen a level 3 answer, we've seen a level 2 answer, and we've seen a level 1 answer. Okay. Now that you've marked others and we've had a look, what I would like you to do is to have a look at the one you've just created it. Give it a mark. What level do you think it is? Okay. Did you get 7 marks? Did you get 5 marks or below? Did you get 3 marks or below? Did you take into account? Because remember, today's lesson is all about making sure that your mind map's got strong content, good layout, and is fit for purpose. It does the job that it's supposed to do. Remember, the job it's doing here is allowing you to generate ideas for the product you're going to create. Okay. Right. Now we're going to do another exam question. You are being put in charge of preparing the content of a new children's magazine. It's aimed at 2 to 4 year olds, so that's your target audience. You need to create a mind map of all the pre-production elements that need to be considered. Once you've completed the mind map, we're not going to be able to do that. So once you've completed your mind map, we'll go back over the mark scheme and we'll have a look at it again and look at how we can improve it. Okay, so we're going to give you 9 minutes to do this. Starting now. Okay, so using self-assessment, I want you to have a look at the mind map you've just created. Okay, so for a level 1, the diagram has basic structure. Okay, may not be clear, links may not be totally logical, content may not be wholly appropriate, so you can have 1 at the bottom, 3 at the top for that, three marks. Then for a level 2, structure of the diagram is clear but may not be totally logical, content not fully relevant to the context of filming, so you get 4 marks at the bottom, 5 at the top. And then for a level 3, 6 to 7 marks. Sorry about that. And so for a level 3, 6 marks at the bottom, 7 at the top. Clear structure with logical connections, including subnodes. Content is relevant to context of filming script. Detail is clear and understandable. Okay, so give yourself a mark. Okay, hopefully you got 7. Okay, so our outcomes, I'm able to identify the elements required on a mind map, and our deep learning outcome, I can create an exam level mind map that is strong in content and fit for purpose. Okay, hopefully now we can answer 1 past exam question. Okay, we've had a go at 2 mind maps so far today. Okay, so what I'd like you to have a go at now is this exam-based question. Okay, so it's worth 14 marks altogether. So the Kids 5 a Day campaign will include a multimedia website aimed at improving the eating habits of children. It will provide recipes and advice in a fun and entertaining way. You've been asked to create a pre-production mind map for the possible homepage of the website. This will be given to the web designer. So marks will be awarded for structure, content, and relevance. Okay, and then question 6. Publicity for the ride will require the capturing of images of the ride and park to use in various leaflets and posters. Create a mind map that can be used by the production team to help plan the capturing and editing of these images. Okay, so if you want to pause the video, then have a go at those 2 mind maps. And just once you've paused it, okay, once you've finished it, I'm just going to take you back to the mark scheme so you can mark it. Remember, they're both out of 7 marks. And there is the mark scheme for you to mark them. So all that's left to do now after you've marked it is to take a picture of your notes, take a picture of the mind maps you created today, either upload them to the assignment on Teams or you can email them to my school email. Stay safe and see you next time.